Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Muse just dropped not too long ago, and he's actually pretty good in my opinion. I actually really do enjoy this character. That being said, there's a few things that can actually counter him and kind of completely screw him over. However, I will say, when it comes to his animation, I love it. When it comes to the way this card is designed and the way it plays, it's really good. I think as a 312, it's exceptionally well, especially for what it's trying to do. I will say, Muse is particularly, I think, in the area of trying to make Weapon X better. I think that's his best deck. I say this only because you're trying to destroy things in multiple locations, and the easiest way to go about doing this is like playing a Debrii. Rock, destroy the rocks. Eat the debris like a Venom. You know, you're trying to kill as many things as you can, at least one thing in each location, and the thing about that is each thing you kill, Weapon X scales up and gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and he can look relatively good. So think of Muse as a secondary death. It's just instead of costing 0, he costs 3 always, right? So fast breakdown of the deck I've been using, because I feel like this is a little bit more trickier to use than your typical destroy decks. I was originally going with another build, but this one had better performance, and I still think you can still improve it. I honestly think there's still ways to make this deck better. So we have X23 here. Obviously, she's going to be our energy generator, right? You can also destroy her multiple times, build up Weapon X, and relatively just keep going, right? Moira X. Moira X. Cloning your hand can be pretty useful, depending on the situation. I think she is pretty replaceable when it comes to the deck's build. I think she's the one that you could probably just get rid of her. She can be nice if you open up with a hand and has a Muse in it or a secondary death in it, or Fastball, Adamantium Infusion. There's some cool things you can do with Moira X, so it's decent. She's decent. Nico Minoru is here because draw is always good. You just exclusively play her for the draw, and that's okay. You may never play her. You may play her. If you get the draw too, fantastic. Fastball Special. It's not an affliction deck, but this goes really well with like Debrii. Just poof. Hit them with a -8, revive her V. She's a 16 power. She gives you 2 more rocks. It's really good. Or, throw a Venom, throw Death, throw Muse when he's fully stacked. There's a lot of options that you can just like throw and revive and double the power of whatever it is you're trying to do. The combination of Fastball and Adamantium Infusion here, really good. Carnage, just a simple numb. I think, unironically, I think Carnage is like the worst destroy in this deck because even though he's a 2-drop, you want scatter destroy, not just focus destroy. And if you're going to use something that's a focused like zone, you want to use Venom. Carnage is okay. Not the best. Weapon X, this card is really dependent on drawing early. Like, you really want to draw this pretty early on. Like, really badly. That way you're not overflooding your field. Things will get blocked off from being killed, potentially. Or things just don't die too soon. He really needs to be drawn kind of early. He's really good whenever you get him turn 2. Really good. Right? He's one of those few cards right now that doesn't really have any counters. Well, there's plenty of counters, don't get me wrong. Like, Shadow King's one of them. Cosmic Ghost Rider can be one. Deafening Chord can be another one. Like, there's definitely ways to counter him. But right now, the meta is pretty heavy on other things. So you can kind of sneak him in, and he should perform pretty decently. Killmonger is exclusively here to just sack everything that is a 1-cost or rocks. You could use Scroll Girl too if you want to, and just like build your Weapon X up, get all those location checks for your Muse. Honestly, the more I think about it, the more I think Squirrel Girl would be a good fit in this deck, but I don't know what you'd cut out. Probably Carnage. Muse is here. He's good. Muse is good. Unironically, I don't think anyone's surprised that he's good. He's just a good card. Um, he's going to be hard to use outside of like the Weapon X like style of destroys, mainly because like the thing with Weapon X is you're bringing Debrii, you're potentially bringing a Squirrel Girl. You know, you're bringing things that scatter all over, and then you nuke everything at the same time, right? With the Killmonger, right? So it makes Muse a lot easier to run and a lot more efficient. Venom. Venom's the best lane eater when it comes to just raw power. He gains the power or whatever it is you destroy. So like eating a Debrii can be pretty good. Eating a death can be pretty good. Eating a Weapon X or a Muse can be pretty good depending on like how far and stacked they are. And then you can just fastball and Adamantium Infusion and keep it going. It's a really nice little like synergy thing they got going on here. Debrii spawns 2 rocks as a 3/8. It's a good lane winner and sets up your Weapon X and your Muse nicely. Adamantium Infusion. This is nice. This definitely has won a lot of games for me. Bringing back a 3/8 to make it a 3/16 is kind of crazy. Especially since you could just Killmonger those extra rocks and stack up your Weapon X even more. It's unironically really good. You don't just have to use this on like Debrii. You can use this on death. You can if you have a turn that is like your last turn of the game and you have her good to go and she's a free cast, you play her, you fastball her, you revive her, she's a 22. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If I had to rate this deck, like between like F being terrible, S being like meta, like super meta, I rate this about an A-, B+. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deck. It can win a lot of games. I think there's still something missing for Weapon X. I know I keep saying that, like, damn, Weapon X is just always missing something. And it's true. There's something about Weapon X just feels slightly worse than, like, your typical Destroy decks with Null, you know, with Deadpool. There's just something about Weapon X that just doesn't hit the level of power as like a Null Deadpool deck. It can get high numbers, it can feel really good at times, and it can be really competitive. However, it's just missing something. And I'm not sure what it is. I know Dormammu is being used with Weapon X, and it's a good deck. I've gone against it with this deck, and Dormammu is a good deck, right? But it's so predictable, and you know where they're playing Dormammu, right? So there's no surprise. You just win the other zones. And I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about Dormammu. I think the deck's good. The Dormammu version of this deck is good. But I'm not sure if that's like the deck. You know, I don't think that's the Weapon X deck. I think that's just a Weapon X deck. I would like to dabble in Phantom X, Weapon X, and put Muse and Wild Child in the decks. That way you have 3. Do you have 2 3/12s? It's just gonna be weird because if you were to try to build a Weapon X Phantom X deck, right, with Muse in it and Wild Child, what do you cut out, right? Like, what do you cut out? Because you have to discard, you have to, well, destroy is not an issue. You're building Muse in there, you're going to destroy. But what do you cut out? Do you just not, well, Squirrel Girl is probably your 1-drop, right? You'd play Muse as a 3-drop. Remove Magic probably for Weapon X or Muse. I don't know. I feel like it's going to get really clunky. You're trying to do too much, and I just don't know. I just don't know if Weapon X and Phantom X can live in that same archetype together. I just think it gets too clunky because you're trying to do the thing for Weapon X to work, and you're trying to do the thing for, you know, Phantom X to work. I would love it. That'd be awesome, but I just don't think there's ways to do. I don't think there's a way to do it. Sadly, I don't think there's a way to do it. Right. So, yeah. Muse. He's good. He's good. He's a really nice addition. I think they nailed him perfectly. I think a 312 is exactly what was in the cards for Weapon X. I think having a second death, essentially, is what this is really nice. Now, he's not as good as like Null. Obviously, Null can get much bigger, but he's pretty consistent. When you play Squirrel Girl, when you play Debrii, with the Killmonger, pretty consistent. But that's the other thing about this deck is that it crutches on Killmonger a lot. Killmonger is a huge crutch, and that sucks because it means you have to figure out how to get Killmonger out, right? I wonder if like Destroyer would work. Like, is there a world where Destroyer is a possibility to work in this deck? The issue with Destroyer is like he destroys everything. Nimrod would probably be decent. Maybe Nimrod would be decent. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Muse is good. I think Muse is really good. So, conclusion: if you play Destroy, he's good. Let me rephrase that. If you play Weapon X Destroy, Muse is your guy. If you play Deadpool Null, while I think this card is nice, I don't think it fits in that Destroy archetype. I think you can make it work, though. 100%. I think you can make it work. But that's going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching. Muse is awesome for Weapon X buffs. And unfortunately, because of that, I think that also holds him back a little bit when it comes to how good he is, because Weapon X isn't exactly meta, but he can be played. So while Muse is super good himself, he's getting put in a lower tier deck, and because of that, it hurts him a little bit, but him as a card is good. So, cool. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the games, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.
The universe shall be set right. Destiny will arrive.
Taking aim.